What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and I'm back with another desk setup tech and home office accessories episode where we're going to be checking out some of the new tech products that have come out in the past few months that could be a great addition to your productivity setup. I'm really excited to check out some new products, including the next generation of Sonos speakers, the Sonos Era 100, as well as some productivity accessories such as the Loupedeck, which has been around for a bit, a new microphone that is an upgrade to my go-to voiceover mic for quite a few years now, and in this one, we're going to be talking about how to set up a small office by going over to our WeWork space in Vancouver. As always, if you'd like to win an item from this video, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and leave a comment down below with your Instagram username, and I'll be picking a winner in 2 weeks and contacting you directly on Instagram. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with the first item. So the first item we're checking out here is the Sonos Era lineup, and more specifically, the Sonos Era 100. This is something that I've been so excited about since its announcement, and I wanted to check it out right away. And it is essentially the updated lineup to Sonos' past generation of speakers as they've continued to unify and improve their lineup for the next generation. As you can see right here, this follows a very similar cylinder design that you're used to before and is good for any kitchen, living room, home office, or bedroom. You can have it at your desk setup as well, and there really is no limit as to where you could put it, but you can also pair multiple of them together. From a design standpoint, it is very familiar, maybe a little bit taller when it comes to its height, but you also have your buttons on the top when it comes to the touch capacitive, skip, and volume, your slide controls up here, and there's also microphones around all over the place, and there's also, of course, the voice detection if you want to use voice assistant. From an I/O standpoint, it has a USB Type-C cable, and you also have the power that goes through the bottom, and there's also a mute switch for the microphone if you don't want to listen to anything. The grille itself is very similar and familiar with the rest of the lineup, and it seems like Sonos is going with a very cylinder design lately, such as what we saw on the Sonos Arc, which is able to give you that multi-dimensional sound within the unit. Another feature that I also really like to use on my old Sonos speakers was TruePlay, which is essentially allowing you to calibrate the speakers specifically to your room layout and its pickup patterns in order to optimize the speaker itself, but more specifically in stereo scenarios, I definitely notice a difference. You can connect via Wi-Fi, of course, as well as through Bluetooth or line in, so you have tons of options and you can control the EQ within the Sonos app. With this new lineup, Sonos also announced the Era 300, which has a whole suite of features as well, so I'm going to be talking about that in another video. So another standing desk that we also picked up recently is called the Charcoal IO, and this desk is just very unique because it takes a product that is relatively common in the industry, but has a new approach when it comes to the materials, the quality, most importantly, going a step further when it comes to functionality. When it comes to the design itself, you can take a look at it. It is just a frosted white desk, but there's elements of it when it comes to the quality and that finish on top that is like a satin glass that just makes it much more premium feeling. It is also very quiet, but one of their biggest focuses and their missions with this desk is actually productivity health. They have all this information about like how often you should take a break and optimizations throughout the day, and through the sensors on the desk and through the little light on the corner where the button is, it is able to give you useful feedback as to what periods of the day you should take a break, for example, and it will allow you to kind of optimize to maximize the energy and productivity throughout the day. As the desk itself though, it is beautiful, and that was really my first priority. I think it looks incredible. The cable management system is great, and it comes in at a price point of about $1,200, and it's available in 2 different sizes. So perhaps one of the products that I've been very excited for is the Macbook Air 15-inch. And this right here just came into the office. I still have a full review to do on it, but I figured because it is a desk setup video, it would make sense to give you guys a bit of a preview. And I've got to say, it is honestly one of my favorite MacBooks. Compared to the 14-inch, the form factor is obviously a little bit bigger to accommodate the bigger display, but it embraces the great redesign that we saw in the MacBook Air last year in a nice and thin form factor, but a larger display. This right here features the Apple M2 processors. You can spec it out in many different ways depending on how much unified memory and internal storage that you would like. The display is pretty good as well, but just from my initial consensus of using this MacBook, it is really good for what most people are going to need in both the production, productivity, and also like from a prosumer level, it's able to deliver most of the power that you're looking for. So another product that is really important to your productivity setup is a pair of solid, truly wireless earbuds. For music listening while you get up, walk around the office, sit at your desk, or do conference calls, This is a really good way to obviously be able to have a nice immersive environment for listening to music, but also not distract the people around you. We've checked out this lineup from the beginning, and it's always been a really solid option that is more affordable, but has a lot of the great tech features that you would expect out of a good pair of truly wireless earbuds, which have increased in popularity over the years, and most importantly, also have great battery life, sound quality, customizability, and in this case, active noise cancellation. Taking a look at the case itself, the new SoundCore Liberty 4 NC is available in many different colors. And just going ahead and popping them in, I always found that the SoundCore lineup has a very comfortable feel to it that molds to the ear quite nicely, and you can also change the different ear tips as well. Naturally, there's already a pretty good seal to it that provides a decent amount of noise cancellation, but in this model specifically, active noise cancellation is its biggest feature. It is able to reduce the noise by up to 98.5%, and it's equipped with high-performance in-ear sound sensors and a low distortion driver and noise isolation chamber that contributes to that impressive figure. The Adaptive ANC 2.0 is a SoundCore exclusive technology that uses real-time calculations every time the user puts on the earbuds to adapt to their ear canals and current surrounding environment to be able to cut out the most noise possible. And just from walking around in a busy street, for example, in downtown, I found that it was able to block out quite a bit of noise just based on its ergonomic design, but as soon as the noise cancellation is enabled, it really brings that to another level. And what I love about it is that it comes in at a relatively affordable price point considering the feature set that it does have. The sound quality has always been really good on SoundCore, and what I also enjoy is being able to go to the SoundCore app and adjust the different characteristics of the EQ, including more treble, more bass, for example, depending on the music that you like to listen to, and that is just an added feature that you don't always have on a lot of first-party earbuds. When it comes to the battery life, this is also another area that SoundCore has pushed beyond its competition. Typically, I'm used to seeing like 5 to 6 hours of continuous playback, but this is able to give you up to 10 hours of playback. And with the case itself, you can get up to 50 hours. The previous generations of SoundCore Liberties are already ones that have been really good, especially for the price point. I've always enjoyed them. I also think it's nice that they're available in so many different colors, but this newest generation, Liberty 4 NC, coming in under $100 is honestly super impressive, and I love to see these better options coming in at value prices for 2023. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, I'm going to drop a link down below, and a huge thanks to Anker Soundcore once again for sponsoring this video. For anyone who works a lot in Photoshop and Lightroom for photo editing, another accessory that I'm excited to bring back and check out again is the Loupedeck. I actually haven't had one for quite a few years now because at the time I just didn't really need it, but this right here is the collection of Loupedeck products. This is the Loupedeck Plus, and it's specifically for photo editing. You can control all of your HSL for all the different colors, for example, and you have all the different wheels for the main parameters that I would typically use on my DaVinci Resolve panel, which is kind of what got me back into the physical panels. On our last trip, we have hundreds and hundreds of photos to edit, and even though you can just copy and paste settings, a lot of them are very different when it comes to their characteristics, so the easiest way to speed up the workflow significantly is to utilize something like this. It really is a game changer when it comes to increasing your productivity because similar to what we do in video editing, when there's thousands of clips to process, I couldn't imagine having to do that on a mouse in a reasonable amount of time. Some of the other accessories from Loupedeck that we're also checking out though is the Loupedeck Live S, which is good for like live streaming, for example, that you might have seen before from companies like Elgato, which also make a very good live panel and are probably the more well-known ones. But there's also the Loupedeck CT, which is very versatile and customizable if you don't need a panel specifically for photo editing like the Loupedeck Plus. But having all these tools to be able to speed up the workflow is really the main purpose of a series like this. So on the topic of desk setups and offices, something that we don't really talk as much about is how we bring our workflow on the road. Last year, we were away for 110 days of the year. So being able to work on the go is equally as important in terms of optimizing the setup and the workflow that we also have at home. And we're working with WeWork on our private office in Vancouver, which I'm gonna talk a little bit more about in a minute, but WeWork is super cool because you can go ahead and select from hundreds of WeWork locations around the world. And there is literally a WeWork in every single country that we visited last year. They're all in very good and optimized locations. So a lot of times we noticed that it was just a couple steps away. And from there, you're able to book an hour, a day, and you get all of the amenities of the fast Wi-Fi, the great work environment, as well as a community there, and also the amenities such as the snacks and drinks, just like you would enjoy at any WeWork space. It's really great to be able to bring that consistency around the world. So whenever we need just like sit down and edit for a few hours, we can just visit the WeWork space and it feels like we're just at home and can stay equally as productive. All you have to do is go on the WeWork app, and from there it'll show you all the available locations nearby or where you're going, and you're able to book either a desk or a room specific to your needs. And from there, it is just a very fast and easy process. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out for yourself, I'm going to drop a link down below, but let's go ahead and check out our WeWork space in Vancouver, where we have our private office, as I give you some of the tips and tricks that I have when it comes to setting up your own private office after 10 years of experience in the tech and setup space. So now that I'm back at the WeWork space, I'm gonna be giving you guys some of my top tips and best practices of setting up a productive workspace for a good workday. The first tip I have is to pick where you're going to put your desk. This is very important, and I'm kind of picky about that because I don't want to be facing the wall for the entire day. And so if there's a window, I always want a direct line of sight of the window, but eventually we actually decided to put the desks against the wall here to be able to decorate the wall, but also have a line of sight to the door to see who's coming in and also have easy access. The next tip that I have though is lighting. Of course, in-room lighting is great. Natural lighting is the primary source that is very important, but I think having accent lights around the room and placed in different areas of the desk strategically, it allows it to feel more like home. Some of the other productivity hacks that I have when it comes to working in a WeWork space and taking advantage of the experience and the community is just spending different times of day in different parts of the WeWork. When you're trying to do your focused work at your desk in any co-working space, obviously you have your office, what you've customized, what you've made exactly the way that you'd like it. But part of having that community aspect is sometimes just taking your laptop out and going out into the remote desks and just sitting in the living room area even and doing some emails from there. And I feel like it's a very productive environment when you see everyone working on something, and it's just a bit of a break from just being in your own little bubble. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out WeWork for yourself and learn more, I'm going to drop a link down below. But in this video, I wanted to talk a lot about like the productivity tips that I have when setting up your private office for yourself, because I feel like over the years with the number of desk setups and setup makeovers that we've done, we've definitely gained a lot of experience in that space. So this next product that arrived could either be something that goes on your desk or in your home tech setup, but even just your daily tablet. And it is the Google Pixel tablet. It's one that I really enjoyed the design of, and I feel like it integrates into the home ecosystem very well, but as a standalone tablet, it is also very capable. I think specifically though, entertainment and smart home is what I think it's best at. And I think this color and design scheme looks so good, especially with the stand that is included. It has like an always on mode that can display useful information. You can obviously utilize Google Assistant if that is your preferred ecosystem. But on top of that, as you go ahead and navigate through here, you have all of the information that you go ahead and customize. This right here is relatively stock and just what I have at the moment. The charging dock and speaker dock keeps the Pixel tablet powered 24/7, and it actually delivers room filling sound with the included dock itself. So this is a very useful piece that I can have like at my desk, for example, and whenever notifications, conference calls, or just playing some music is coming in handy, then this is the tool to use. It features Google's own silicon, the Tensor G2 chip, and it also has an 11-inch LCD display that also delivers up to 12 hours of playback battery life. But I mean, this form factor really is perfect. It really doesn't feel that big, and because of its finish, it also feels very light, has a nice soft touch finish to it, and I also had a lot of troubles deciding which color to go with because I think both of them actually look pretty good. When it comes to like a good wireless charger, I try to include one of these in each of the desk setup episodes because I'm honestly trying to find my favorite desktop and bedside charger as well. But the most important thing for me is just practicality, durability, and also the speed of charge. This one right here is from Nomad, which is a company that is very well known to make high quality accessories for Apple products, and this is a Stand 1. It utilizes the MagSafe technology and it gives you a max charging speed of 15 watts. But what I like about it is that it is just very high quality. It's got this nice polished finish on the front, and you also have like the metal stand, so it doesn't actually slide around, and I don't actually have it plugged in right now, but you can see it connects via MagSafe very easily. And if I wanted to go ahead and rotate it as well, I can do that. And so, yeah, it's just like a very practical option, and I'm gonna be trying it over the next little bit, but I feel like this is gonna be the accessory that I'm gonna be using on my new desk setup. So this next product right here is the Keychron Q1. It's a product that sits in the middle of the lineup of the smaller keyboards and the full-size keyboards. It is made out of a CNC aluminum, feels very durable, has a lot of weight to it, and it has like that wired setup. And I think the color is a little bit different from what Keychron typically offers and what they're known for with the gray, with the single red escape key, but it features brown switches. The mechanical element, I would say, is a lot more balanced. It definitely isn't the loudest mechanical keyboard out there, but the typing experience overall has been pretty good. It doesn't have any adjustability when it comes to the angle, but what's unique about this is that it still has your function keys and everything on the top. It's still pretty compact. And on top of that, you have that dial that is mechanical and knurled on the right here. And you can also decide what color combination that you like. I believe we do have it in a few different colors, but I think this gray actually looks pretty sharp because I've seen and also featured the Keychron like signature color of what they're known for in like the K3 line, for example, many times before. So the next product right here is the Rode NT1 5th generation condenser microphone. And you guys are actually listening to it right now. And this is the exact same model of mic that I've used on all of my videos over the past few years that had voiceovers. Some of the biggest improvements include the first thing, which is XLR and USB connectivity, which allows you to not always have to carry a preamp such as the Mix Pre and plug in via XLR. But when I'm at home, I typically want the highest quality audio, and so I use XLR, but on the go, having to carry that secondary piece is just a little bit inconvenient. On top of that, the 5th generation also features a 32-bit float digital output and allows you to record everything from a whisper to a scream without having to worry about clipping on your signal or without needing to worry about setting the levels before recording. So these combinations of features are a nice refinement, and I also love the classic design that they have retained. As I mentioned, this is the exact mic that I've used in all of my voiceovers over the years, and I absolutely love it. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what your favorite product is in this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.